Hello and welcome to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we discuss on some interesting updates. In this video, we talk on two updates. Firstly, we start with the president, Juan Laporta, as it has been reported that Laporta feels remorseful about how he handled Xavi's departure. We are going to discuss on that as we move ahead. Secondly, in this video, we are going to talk about Hansi Flick, discussing on 4 reasons why the Barcelona management is highly optimistic that Hansi Flick will succeed at Barcelona. We are going to discuss on that interesting news as well. So as we get right into it, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. If you're just coming across the channel for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe, give the video a like, and please watch right up to the end. Managing a giant situation or a giant institution as renowned as FC Barcelona is not a task for a faint-hearted, and few can at least attest to that better than Juan Laporta. The recent developments surrounding the club have been a frenzy to say the very least. The managerial merry-go-round involving Xavi Hernandez garnered a great deal of criticism, considering the manner in which he was compelled to part ways with the club. But Laporta has not turned a blind eye to the recent advancements at the club. In fact, he is conscious of the club's tarnished reputation, admitting that he handled Xavi's exit really poorly. Indeed, according to a report from Sport, with Hansi Flick's appointment now official and Xavi no longer the Barcelona head coach, President Juan Laporta has weathered the storm, but not without emotional consequences. As per sources, Laporta is still upset about what happened recently, even though he was beaming with Flick and cherished the Women's Champions League triumph. Xavi's dismissal and his recent health issues have taken their toll on the president. Laporta began to doubt himself during Xavi's defeatist news statement prior to the Almeria match. Their relationship became tense as a result of that, with the president growing increasingly certain that a change on the bench was required. Moreover, Laporta's illness was another factor that added to his stress. Tensions remained after Xavi's visit, as the 61-year-old president suggested that he would consider firing him. With the media latching onto the news of a potential coaching change and the meeting with Hansi Flick becoming public knowledge as well, Laporta's anxiety mounted. Laporta seemed distant and emotionally drained during the tense conversation with Xavi about his departure. The Barcelona president later acknowledged that his handling of Xavi's departure had not been ideal at all during the Women's Champions League final at San Mamés. As such, Laporta is self-critical over the recent events and hopes that with time, things will turn for the better. Of course, hopefully. I've been saying this when Xavi was sacked. At the end of the day, the way he was treated was not the best. It was a good thing that Xavi, left the bench as the Barca head coach, but the manner of approach was not good. And I'm not surprised about this report at all, that Laporta is now feeling somehow remorseful about the way he handled the situation of Xavi Hernandez. We quite remember Xavi announcing that he would step down as head coach when the season was still ongoing. And a lot of people applauded that kind of decision, that Xavi, knowing that the club is not really going the way he wants, he wants to boldly step down. And everybody appreciated, Laporta appreciated, but it seemed as though Laporta was not happy about what Xavi said, trying to step down. And towards the end of the season, we see Laporta and the other executives of the club going and pleading with Xavi to at least stay for another season, as they still put their trust and faith in him. And that was the point where many Barca fans were so frustrated and angry that why would you keep Xavi? Why would you go there and beg him to stay after making the decision that he would go away? But Xavi, we know with the love that he has for this club, he's one of the biggest callers out there. He always says that. And of course, he really wants the best. But Xavi Hernandez could not resist the attempts and the persuasion from the president and the vice president for him to get another chance. And of course, after the plea from the president, we quite remember he accepted to make a U-turn on his decision to leave. He had to stay. And of course, honestly, when that decision came from Xavi that he wants to stay for another season, as a Barca fan, we all were frustrated. Like, come on, another season of frustration might come. We are just from a winless season, no trophy won, and it's gonna be very, very difficult for next season. But of course, unfortunately for Xavi, going to the press conference and say things that is in quotes private for Laporta, which was not supposed to be shared out, is considered very confidential. Xavi Hernandez, of course, saying such statements, according to Laporta, will also bring some negativity to the mindset of the players. Of course, the president wants the club to compete for all trophies strongly next season, and of course, nobody wants to accept a back-to-back trophyless season for the club. I definitely understand Laporta for being angry at that time when Xavi went out and say, because of the financial mess, it's going to be difficult for Barca to compete with clubs like Real Madrid, because coaches cannot come and say buy this player and they buy because they don't have the money. And that was the reality. Definitely we know that's true. But Laporta, of course, I understand him perfectly that you can't go out there publicly and voice out those things. It makes no sense. But to the extent where Laporta will be so angry and of course bring out some excuses and just sack him like that, come on, that was so harsh. But anyway, we wish Xavi the best. Laporta, is good that he knows that what he did was not the best of approaches. And of course, we hope that with Hansi Flick, things get better. Then on to the next story of discussion. The next time Barca take on the field, they will be under the guidance of a certain German tactician named Hansi Flick on the sidelines. As sextuple winner with Bayern Munich, the coach is so hungry for titles and will hope to improve his record in his latest appointment. What has remained unclear for a very long time now, however, was the reason behind Barca's sudden infatuation with Flick in recent weeks, which eventually led to his arrival. After all, they had ruled out his name not too long ago for a lack of experience in multiple countries. Of course, Helena Condis of COPE provides an update on the same through her latest report. 4 key reasons, as relayed by the journalist. There are multiple reasons why Flick left a positive impression on the Barca's administration. For starters, the new manager displayed real faith in the current lot of players and sees tremendous potential in the team as opposed to Xavi, who the board believed did not trust the players. Flick's long homework on La Masia and detailed understanding of players in the academy particularly impressed the administration. Another factor that played a role in convincing Laporta and co was the clarity Flick possessed on Lewandowski and his utilization next season. Xavi, after all, felt the Polish star was past his productive years and wanted to offload him, but the German tactician is likely to give him a key role. The third area that won the board's trust was Hansi Flick's confidence in the team's pillars, including Frankie de Jong, Araujo, and Pedri. Like Deco, the German sees the trio to be the key to his team's success. Last but not the least, the new manager understands Barcelona's limitations on the transfer front. Despite pushing for Joshua Kimmich as a new defensive midfielder, he is aware that the move is so complicated and will thus not overpush. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.